In an area of West Virginia that went 70% to Donald Trump, small farmers are starting to struggle due to federal cuts. Now, we have Trey Yates, a declared independent who did not vote for Trump, who owns the Greenbrier Dairy Churning. He lost a contract with the local federally funded food bank for his butter. We have an orchard owner, Natasha Zoe, who is waiting for reimbursement on a federal grant where she built a building and a small cannery to help make syrups and juices in the local area so other farmers can sell these products. And while these two say they didn't vote for Trump, they come from an area where everybody around them fully supports Donald Trump and his policies, but are now being hurt. See, whether it's butter that goes to food banks and schools, or it's syrups and juices from a local orchard, this is money that's not going into the local.
Hello fam, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for sticking by my side. Thank you for clicking. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe. I'm called Irene Soita, and don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to comment and tell me where you're watching me in this part of the world. Guys, welcome. And on this channel today, we're gonna be reacting about all the farmers in the West Virginia or America who truly voted for Trump, but things have not come out the way they were expecting. In the West Virginia, in the west part of Virginia, 70% of the small farmers are struggling with the federal cut. And you know that in Virginia, most of the people who hail from Virginia were Republican. And these people, whatever that has hit them, they were not expecting it. So guys, let us watch this video and come up with more commentary on whatever that is happening. For me, I'll just tell you to keep on subscribing, watching my videos, liking, commenting, and let us have this moment together.
Communities, it's money that's not being spent. Now, Natasha and Trey possibly will lose their businesses and lose their farms, and they'll lose their livelihood because of these cuts. West Virginia is 8th on the list of states that relies heavily on federal funding, behind Louisiana, Alaska, Arizona, South Dakota, Wyoming, Missouri, and Kentucky. Rounding out the top 10 are Mississippi and New Hampshire, and 8 of those 10 states went heavily in favor of Donald Trump, and all 10 of those states are starting to suffer due to DOGE and the Trump administration cutting millions and billions of dollars in federal funding that otherwise would have went to these states. You have to remember, the federal government is the driver of economic policy and money into the local and state governments where it is distributed and spent. And that money's not going out, which means those economies and those locally owned small businesses and small farms, orchards, what have you, are all going to crash. Now, these two individuals say they didn't vote for Trump, but everybody around them did. And it's another example of Trump country is going to pay the hardest prices for Trump policies.
You are correct.
I know.
The owners of the farms are Republican. If they tried to get out there and actually do the job that they employ people for, they couldn't do it.
In fact, I have my own business.
They couldn't do it because they don't have the thought process to do it.
Oh, honey.
And now, Bloomberg actually went out and talked to several Trump voting farmers down here in the South, and they voted for Trump. They like Trump. We're terrified of what Trump is going to do to our businesses. In an interview with Bloomberg, tomato grower Tony DeMare said that it would be a major mistake for Trump to institute the kind of crackdown on undocumented farm labor that has been enacted in Florida, where he says he's having trouble finding people to pick crops. A lot of people left Florida for Georgia, north, scared. Farmers had to let their crops rot, he told Bloomberg. And that, of course, is before Trump even got sworn in, right? Which is happening, just shortly here, really. So even before Trump's policies that are going to make the problem so much worse, the problem already existed. Farmers are having crops rot in the field. Idaho-based farmer Shay Myers, this one not in the South, obviously, tells Bloomberg that it is simply not realistic, given current conditions, to hire only American citizens or even only documented immigrants who come into the country on H-2A guest worker visas. He also bluntly tells Bloomberg that if he, quote, had to replace every falsely documented worker with an H-2A worker, it wouldn't happen. So there's a couple points on here that I want to point out, right? These farmers are admitting, like, yes, we're hiring illegal immigrants. And yet, across the country, Republican politicians told us for years and years, still tell us to this day, these immigrants are the ones that are the problems, right? Nobody ever wants to actually crack down on the people hiring the illegal or undocumented, is a much better word, my apologies, these undocumented immigrants. No. And now they're telling us, like, listen, we have to have these people. And by the way, I'm not even saying, like, we need to ship them back. I'm not of that opinion. Absolutely not. They should be allowed to stay. Our economy is dependent upon undocumented people coming in this country. The problem is these people who hire them screw them over repeatedly. I mean, they're clearly admitting in this Bloomberg interview, Americans don't want to do these jobs. They don't. And there's not enough H-2A visas to bring in enough people to even do the jobs. Like, we're screwed if we don't have illegal immigration, which is why, of course, I voted for the guy who said he was going to get rid of all the illegal immigrants in the country. You see how it's really hard to have any sympathy whatsoever for these people? And I don't. This particular group of folks, I got no sympathy for you. Like some of the other issues where people were like, well, I thought he was going to lower the prices on this. I thought he was going to not destroy the Department of Education. I got a little bit of sympathy for them. For the farmers who are out there whining like the mass deportations are going to crush us. He was 100% clear that he was going to do that. For years, he was clear about it. But no, you were more concerned about who was using which public bathroom, as if that impacts your life at all. No, you were hoodwinked by a Republican Party to ignore the issues that matter to you and be distracted by this shiny thing over here, which for the last year or so has been transgender people. You were more concerned about that than you were about your own livelihood. And boy, the chickens are coming home to roost, and you deserve what is about to happen to you.
Another group that's likely regretting their almost unanimous support for Trump is farmers. So check this out.
Well, it'll certainly be an economic hit to Kansas farmers in a time when they're already struggling. Commodity prices are at an all-time low, and farmers are struggling. Their input costs are high, meaning their fertilizer, chemical, seed. Those input costs are at all-time highs, but the market price for the commodities that they're growing are at all-time lows. So this is just one more hit in a time where farmers don't need any more uncertainty added to an already difficult time.
So that video was an interview. It was regarding funding that Trump cut for something called the Food for Peace program. So evidently, we subsidize Kansas farmers who provide food to this program. And now that appears to be on the chopping block. Remind me again of how Kansas voted how Kansas voted in the election. Yeah.
So what's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm Kodairin. So I hope you have watched the cries of the people of America, the ones who voted. You know, if it was like in Kenya, we always say like Kenyans voters are allured with the little tokens. We are given small money. And I used to think that Kenyan politics is so different from American politics, because when it comes to American politics, we are always glued on televisions, watching, waiting to know who is the next president. And right now, the Americans are playing the victim. They're playing like they didn't know what they were getting themselves into. They voted against very interesting policies. They are like they never read Project 2025. You know, they are like they were outsmarted by Trump. And I'll just say like Trump is smart, and Trump has used one like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going down. He's crumpling his business. He has lost a lot of billions of dollars. And now in America, everybody's crying, and we are not going to forget about the small farmers, even the large scale farmers. You know, everybody is crying. Like all the federal, there's all this what we call federal cut. And so in Virginia, in West Virginia, where most 7 counties where Trump come from, the people there voted for Trump. They're his people, and they're the farmers. They're the people who are crying so much for the federal cut that has cost them big. And we also have those who call themselves independent. You know, the independent ones, they've gotten themselves their contract revoked by Trump. There are those whose land have been taken away. They owned lands and they're waiting for reimbursement. Like, it's so sad. Whatever is happening and whatever that has happening since the inauguration of Trump and all the policies that he put across, so much it's gonna hurt the American economy and the dollar so badly. You understand, my good people? So I'm asking myself, like, why on earth will people go and vote? Like, why wouldn't you read the Project 2025 before voting? You understand, something that was online, you went ahead and voted for this man. Look how much you people you're hurting, from deportation to revoking people's registration, legal registrations, to these people hurting farming. Like, this man wants to hurt each and everyone, either if you voted for him or not, or you never voted for him. It's a very sad state. It's a lesson learned from us. We know now, from now henceforth, we are gonna be very curious when it comes to voting, because that voting is like, it's like when you're doing your exams. It's your file. It will determine how your future will be. You know, like, for 4 years the Americans aren't gonna be on the verge of becoming bankruptcy. Like, even the farmers, you're gonna be depending on exports, on imports. You understand? And when importing food to your country, it's very expensive. With the lot of taxes that you people pay, it means that you're going to be paying more taxes. You are going to be paying more taxes before you get to what, like, before you get food, because you're going to be getting more, you're going to be paying more taxes for this food to be important to your country. And to come to think about it, like, when these farmers, who are very helpful to the people of Americans, the people of Virginia, West Virginia, the farmers, let us not just talk about the small farmers, let's talk about all large farmers, because everyone is affected. If you think about it, let's think about the Mexican, the people who have the Trump deportation of Mexican. Most of the food comes from Mexico, and you people deported them. You never supported them. The Americans, you never supported. You never thought that it will come to this moment where you people are gonna get hit so hard. So what if the Prime Minister or the President of Mexico, that strong lady, says, like, no, there's no food that is gonna go to America? What if he says so? What are you gonna do? So guys, let us always learn when it comes to elections. Don't think that you're gonna hurt someone. It's always gonna come back to all of us. Let us always be objective when it comes to election. Let us all come together, speak the same language. It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what race you are. Let us all talk about it, let us all discuss, and let us come up always with an objective opinion, guys. So it's for me, Irene Soita, to you, bye bye. I'm standing here in the banana sweet potatoes plantations. She has been harvesting napier grass for the cow. Right now she's going to milk. You can see the cow, you can hear the cow mowing. Guys, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye bye. The sun is setting. Bye bye.